Welcome back to another episode of Cactus Plays Phoenix Curious Attorney. My name is Bobby.
I'm Kevandre.
I'm making that joke because our one viewer seemed to like it. Messaged me about it. It was like, seriously? Yeah. Seriously? And I was like, yeah, I gotta do it. Can't help it. It's who I am.
Yes, that's right.
You may hear extra noise in the background. It's because we've gotten a new roommate.
Yes. And she's out on the balcony and she's on her phone, but...
and
cat. Foggy's also here, and he's not very good at jumping, apparently.
Yeah. He must be a white cat. Can't jump for shit. It's okay. I'm white too, kitty.
Classic cat.
I can't jump for shit either. What did we do last time?
I haven't edited that episode yet, so I don't remember. Oh.
Well, we're kind of fucked then.
I think Emma showed up, right?
Yeah,
there was a picture she drew, and then...
it was a split on the back of the list of evidence.
Yeah, and there was the blue badger was there.
Right. For some reason, and we have no idea why.
Yeah.
And the judge didn't see any contradictions with the blue badger being there, is what I'm assuming we ended up on.
So I was never wrong. The blue badger did stab somebody. It was just 2 years ago, or however fucking long ago it was.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Back... Wait a minute, that timeline doesn't make sense, does it? They were still inventing the blue badger.
Maybe
like
it was in beta.
Like, all it had was Lobody's stuffed version. And
it had a knife.
Oh, okay, sure.
I've seen Chucky.
Did you ever watch The Bride of Chucky?
No, no one has.
It's super bad.
I've seen Superbad.
Nah, that's true. That was a much better movie.
Which is surprising.
Didn't even really like that movie.
No, it's not great.
Right. But going to Hawaii and having an actual Hawaiian driver's license for a while there.
Yeah, he is McLovin. MC Lovin.
Yeah, it was great. Anyways.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dock about to murder prostitute and Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Oh, okay. Why would the defense not have the evidence list? I'm confused.
This is a bullshit society filled with bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Like 3-day trials exclusively?
Yeah.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
Yes, it is. And we're supposed to be, like, pressing and all that stuff. So, hey, what you got? Did you draw this picture right after the incident? It's not quite the right voice. I'll ease into it, don't worry.
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. I think you are overestimating human memory, my good sir.
Especially after a traumatic event.
Yeah, it is notoriously awful. To the point that in certain circumstances, you can't admit it as evidence.
You can have a car crash and have 30 witnesses have seen it, and they all tell you something completely different.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So, humans are non-reliable witnesses.
Yes, we should have switched to just robot witnesses.
We should just switch to just robots. Just all around. Humanity is a plague. Robots for life.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose.
Excuse me, witness.
This whole global warming thing would be fixed. We'd just shoot their asses up in the air and move the planet a bit farther away.
That is how it happened that one time.
I've seen Futurama. I know how science works.
But can you please...
Such a dumb episode.
Can you please tell us why this painting is... this picture is painted all black?
That's the only marker she had?
The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows.
Hey, tell me
it's
more.
Called a silhouette.
So, at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue.
That's right. She saw a little silhouette of a man. I remember.
Yeah, and Scaramouche.
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor by the lightning.
You were knocked to the floor?
It hit me. Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around. And that's when the lightning flashed.
Of course.
I didn't turn around like my sister, though, so I didn't have to turn away from the microphone.
Oh, that's a good point. That bitch just keeps turning. She turned on the stand. It was so rude.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Anyways, poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt.
What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted.
Tell me a bit more. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
Yes. What? Hey! I'm not the bad guy here!
Anyway, this picture... This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Okay.
Him holding a baton?
Yeah. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? As it very easily could be.
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, even normal questioning of the events could lead them to have a false memory about certain details.
Yeah.
You don't have to lead them. You can just jump to conclusions on their own, and that can actually alter their memory of the events in certain ways.
Also, this is already a case where false evidence was submitted.
Yeah, so don't be a dick about this, Edgy.
And there's clearly some sort of cover-up happening.
Right. So, no, of course not. I'd better watch out, or you might find some way to cut my salary.
Better watch out.
You get paid for this? You're kind of fucking bad at it.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well...
Ellipsis.
That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
Yeah, it's like he's like holding like a baton, not like a knife.
Yeah.
This is not a knife.
Yeah.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
Do we have something better that would help contradict this? Because no...
Do we only see the back now?
I guess so. Sure. Okay. And then them being all there. Happy fancy. Where's his hat?
I don't think he was wearing the hat in the flashback photo either.
He has to have a hat. He's a cowboy.
It does fall off sometimes.
I mean, come on. He has a hat right here.
Well, sure.
He's got to have the hat.
What's in the autopsy report?
That's a line.
Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. A knife tip in his wound.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I think that the picture looks wrong because it doesn't look like a knife that he's holding.
And the getting stabbed in the back.
And getting stabbed in the back, though I suppose that could happen in the tussle.
Maybe. That does look a bit more like a broken tip spear, like what was on this.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
The halberd, right?
Yeah, there we go. It looks more like that.
So it looks like that thing, which is probably why it's just a broken shield now. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, should we submit the autopsy report?
Yeah, I think so. Is there any particular spot? I can see the shadows. Must have fainted. This picture shows exactly.
That's gotta be it, yeah.
Okay.
Objection.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I remember it like it was yesterday. All my troubles are so far away, Mr. Wright. Perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Okay, now because it's an autopsy report, I'm going to assume it's in the back. So how do I need to present with him, or do I need to present with the knife?
It's a good question. I would assume the knife, but I'm not really certain.
Well, you know, we still got all of that blue bar, so fuck it. Let's just go with the knife, because it's the thing that stands out.
Yeah.
And then if we have to choose him, maybe we can do it. Or maybe it doesn't really matter so much. Like,
yeah, maybe not. It's just going to be like either one was right.
Yeah, it'll be like, explain yourself, Mr. Wright. So, the contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall...
The tip was in the knife wound. It wouldn't have been broken before the stab.
Right.
Why didn't I think of that? Why do we focus on the back thing? I don't know. Fuck it. It counts. Close enough.
The tip of this knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
Now, hold on a minute. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Honestly, if I were her, I'd probably still would have drawn it, like, as a knife. Also, something or other.
Yeah.
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up in there.
Unless you just kind of slip it in.
Right. You know, staging evidence. That's what you do. You just take knife tips, stab it in random bodies, and you're fine.
That's right, but something or other. The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body.
I'm not hitting A during those bits.
No, I believe
it just skips to the next part.
He's just going forward.
Yeah.
The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Yes, there is.
I like the back and forth.
Not so fast, Edgy. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already about a little something called falsified evidence?
Edgeworth? You're treading on thin ice, right?
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No. Order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder.
You're saying that Luchador Gant used the Vine Sauce Corruptor on this investigation?
That would be great. A Vine Sauce Corruptor on a dating sim?
That'd be great. Well, it probably wouldn't actually be.
No, that would be awful.
Yeah, it would just be...
You have a slim chance of it turning out great.
Yeah.
We should try it at some point.
Alright, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we gotta hit them up and be like, hey, we're already ripping off so much of your stuff. Would you mind?
Yeah, I already stole all my bits.
The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day.
It had not yet changed to the prosecutor's office.
Right, they became a prosecutor's office after
the Luchador took over.
Right. So, after receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall was... Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark, along with Damon Gatt. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room.
Yo, it's me, Joe Dark. That's what he looks like, right?
Yeah, that's pretty true. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
We're not saying you're lying, Emma.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. I don't think that's true, Edgeworth. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess the halberd thing.
Yeah. Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? Yeah, there's
yeah, there is, but the chances of this is so ridiculously slim.
Yeah,
like
I agree. It's fantabulous. But we got to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's clearly what's written here, but like I'm just like, okay.
If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw...
Do knife tips break off that easily?
They can. Usually not like a whole chunk like that. Usually it's just like, like first couple of millimeters will break off because that's the thinnest part of the blade, and people really fuck with tips of knives. They don't use them right. So yeah.
So if you were to stab a bloke in the back, and the knife tip would just come off inside him sometimes?
No. Yeah, like you were talking about like a millimeter or two of the tip snapping off.
Right.
And that's like if you hit bone or something like that. Where it's showing it looks like the first like inch of the whole blade is popping off. No, that unless there was a major fault in the blade, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Or unless you like stab it between two ribs and then intentionally break it off inside of there. But
hardcore.
Yeah, that would be dumb.
Fuck. Rude.
Yeah. It can't just be explained away by simple observational error.
Mr. Wright.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. Or rather, a broken halberd.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Do I need to present this or the picture?
I feel like it should be the picture.
Yeah, I'm thinking the picture. Because that actually has the evidence of the thing on it.
Yeah, might as well.
But another part of me wants to present my attorney's badge.
Oh, yeah. I did it, Colonel.
Colonel, have you seen my attorney's badge? That would be an awesome twist.
Snake, I'm the Colonel. I'm also the judge now. You know what I'm saying? Metal Gear Rex.
That's not your best voice.
Lives. I'm trying. No, I can't do like the gravelly that the Colonel does.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting voice to try and figure out how it works. Should practice that one.
If I smoked a bunch, maybe.
Yeah, I should definitely practice that one. I just eventually end up doing nothing but Metal Gear voices.
Bobby's gonna smoke a bunch, and he just starts humming, and it makes me mad. Fuck that humming thing. Yeah, Roddick says that you could have used a dog instead. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
I could have also used a horse, but I wanted quiet. Because she is a sniper, and you can set her to points ahead, and she can even like help take out bad guys way better than D-Dog can. But D-Dog is way better at locating targets. So there's give and take with each one, and the horse is just a horse.
I don't like the humming.
I liked it.
Anyway.
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. You know, the whole time frame we've been talking about this entire fucking time.
Yeah, it's the entire thing that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah. Right here, inside this picture. This is a picture.
This is a picture of the award ceremony.
You're dead now. Okay.
What is it, Mr. Edgewood? It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding.
That's a broken knife. That's not a knife.
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Order! I don't even know why I have you guys here.
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prostituters that day.
That was the day it changed.
Yeah. I keep on changing up between them because I keep on forgetting.
That's alright.
As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. It's actually
thanks.
When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prostituter, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. I got a cat.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Yeah.
But that can't be.
Oh? And why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prostituters' award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prostituter Neil Marshall.
Oh
my. But the prostitute was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
He stabbed himself in the back, obviously. Neil Marshall's corpse, you are guilty.
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to
Jump to conclusions.
No. Gaunt showed up, stabbed him in the back with the Joe Dark knife.
Yes.
Yeah, because Gaunt was an asshole.
Yeah, and then he's like, hey, you should stab this guy that's already dead again.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
Oh, kitty cat being cute. Now we do kick it. Yeah, that's the one.
Ellipsis. I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we're very much aware. Thank you, Emma.
What? What?
You drew that.
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
I swear if this thing ended up killing Neil Marshall, that would be ridiculous.
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
You're 16 years old. We're not going to be talking about that.
She was 14.
Yeah, 14 at the time. So, thank you, Judge, for interrupting before
Yes.
that went weirder.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony.
Oh, so
We want everything here on public record so nobody has any accusations after the fact.
of course.
Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First, the knife mix-up, and now, the blue badger.
Sonic.
This should be interesting.
Did you know that Sonic was a badger?
I did. Everybody knows that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know.
Not a hedgehog. He's apparently an alien.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah?
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further.
Where did this pitch come from?
Lana.
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime.
Do what we want. You need to calm down.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Why can't you just leave it at that?
Because we don't want to.
Gee, Luchador Prostitutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
She better turn back. Oh. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Only took us 50 fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Goodness.
A good half of this series has been this case.
60. Over 60 episodes. Yeah. Okay. Goodness.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and I rushed toward both of them.
Okay. And then...
Yeah, we might as well just press everything. Right?
Yeah. And then I think I knocked away the man with the knife. And where's the end? Just there's another flash of lightning. That's when I saw the blue badger. Yeah, he wasn't in the room, but I sure saw his shadow. Okay. Okay. So, what you got here? When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark.
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
I panicked and I rushed toward both of them.
Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When the dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person. I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
What do you mean, you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was a witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I agree.
I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next?
Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the Blue Badger.
Are you sure about this? Because I
Of
really hate that
course.
fucking badger.
See, I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the luchador of detectives who thought up this hideous beasts. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Okay. So, sure. His shadow. So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless.
No, horns have points. There were 3 of them.
No, see, they're all capped off, though.
That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh? And I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
That's a good question. Because it wasn't really...
It's his hat,
Oh!
right? Because it's got the 3 things. I mean, it's not quite the same, though.
No. What about this thing
Could
upside
be
down?
something. Like, maybe he was standing... like, if Neil Marshall... No, because it couldn't have been that.
See, I'm kind of thinking this thing upside down.
Yeah, because it's got the two ball things on the sides.
Right. And then someone used that to smash the head of Marshall and cause a concussion.
What else do we got?
Good question. I have no idea. I haven't been paying attention to this game at all. We got this. Here's the Blue Badger.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so this was there. 2 years before it was created.
Right. And we're checking him, and that looks about right. He looks super old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a good question. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably the jar, right?
Yeah, this-
But, like...
This is what I'm thinking. I think it's this thing. And then, if we can figure out how to rotate it better. Yeah. Like that. Oh, hey, did we never check this?
I think we did.
Oh, okay. Must blood traces from the incident. All I've ever found which against less than lines remaining. Okay. So yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it's this thing turned upside down. Oh, what the fuck? Hello. Jar has no bottom, so the hole goes right through. Whatever it's really a jar, some kind of weird telescope thingy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what this thing is supposed to be.
Yeah, no one does. No one knows what this is. Okay, I think it's that.
Yeah. Alright. Let's continue.
Okay. Who is this Blue Badger? Really? I think we know. I think we figured it out. The Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is this defense's belief that on that fateful day, 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
It was Edgeworth.
It's my ticket with a little jester hat on it.
Oh, no.
Mr. Wright!
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger lookalike.
Okay. Well, let's present this. The mysterious blue badger was in fact whatever the fuck this is.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Oh, viewpoint.
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Maybe like this?
No, let's keep going. Like if we looked at it this way. Can you turn it like this way? And then like maybe tilt it like that so that the bottom part is the top one.
Like this?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. Okay, hopefully that's good enough. I don't know how picky it's gonna be. Sometimes it can be a real bitch about it, like with the fingerprints.
That totally looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
But how did she see this?
Somebody was about to... They came in behind, they grabbed that, and was about to smash it.
I see.
Smashy, smashy.
And
Spritzy,
she's just...
spritzy.
Yeah, spritzy, of course.
Right.
That's the explanation for everything.
I mean, it's helped so far. Did we spritzy the jar? Not really.
Despite all the blood that's clearly visible on it.
Right. So, anyways, well, is this a miracle or what? Alright, close enough.
Jesus Christ.
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger.
What a fine how do you do this fucking whole case is, I swear to God.
No, it can't be.
What the fucking drugs were they on? Jesus Christ. Order.
Apparently, all of the drugs.
Even I wouldn't come up with something this convoluted.
Some fantastic drugs. And there's a lot of good drugs in the 21st century, let me tell you, folks.
The defense has proven its claim.
If you think the 80s had good drugs, wait a bit.
Oh, yeah.
21st century has got you beat.
Sure. Just more people did, those kinds of drugs in the 80s.
Oh, sure. It was
These days, it's all over the counter.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you go into a nice, middle-class suburban neighborhood, not in a random house, it's filled with pills.
Pills, baby! Go see Sonic.
Yeah.
Because John Ralphio is playing Sonic.
And I assume that's why he thinks he's going so fast.
Yeah.
He's just tripping
He's
balls.
just doing pills.
Yeah.
The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this...
Whatever that is.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains.
You are not a person to call somebody else's performance dramatic.
That's
Edgeworth.
true.
What's your fucking point?
Okay, did we want to call it there?
Sure.
Right on what's your point? Nice
Yeah.
cliffhanger bit.
That's fine.
So, it's been a roller coaster of an episode.
Yeah, I'm losing faith in the writing.
I'm gaining it. This is fantastic.
It's ridiculous.
It's top tier, man. This is awesome.
Oh my god.
I can kind of see why that other channel didn't do this episode.
Yeah, that other channel.
Yeah, if they would have looked ahead at it and been like, do we really need to do this? And they read some of this stuff and they're like, fucking no. No
man.
way.
I still overall enjoy this case, but god damn, or is it testing my patience in this part?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
Anyway,
We should probably do shout
let's do shoutouts. So, as a lad, I was a big fan of Harry Potter. Still am, though the more I think about Harry Potter, the more it kind of falls apart, especially the last book. I still love it. I still have it influence me. I'm still, hashtag Team Hufflepuff, whatever. And Ginny is still best girl overall. But I've kind of moved on to older stuff these days. And I kind of had left Rowling behind, and I still don't really like her as a person much, especially because of the anti-trans stuff that she's been talking about lately. But
I still haven't looked that up. I don't know the context behind all that, so I don't have an opinion because I am not informed enough.
I picked up The Cuckoo's Calling on Audible to listen to because I was just like, well, it's on sale. I might as well do it. So that's the first book in the Cormoran Strike novels series. And so I'm doing a shout out to Cormoran Strike. So far, I've only read the first one, and I'm probably halfway through the second one. Maybe not even halfway, but like a decent chunk into the second one, and I like it. I also have been finding that Britain is far stranger than I thought it was. Or at least her perception of Britain and the British people are.
No. Just Britain itself.
Yeah, it's probably true. They're very strange and way overdramatic in so many ways.
Compared to us, yeah.
Yes. Like offended by literally everything, and not in the way there's like, snowflakes offended by everything. It's not like that. It's you say one little thing, it's like, oh, I've never been so offended in my entire life, and then they'll never talk to you again. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Anyway. The Cormoran Strike books are about a PI who used to be in the military, and he only has one leg. And it's kind of Dresden-y in its way, where he's a private investigator, and dames come in and it's just like, oh, please help me, whatever. It's a kind of a noir type of thing, and I'm enjoying them so far. You can see why she would have written it under a different name, because these books are written by quote unquote Robert Galbraith, because there's a lot of cursing, a lot of casual sexism, casual racism from upper class people in Britain, that I would think that parents would see, oh, J.K. Rowling wrote a book, I'm going to buy this for my kid. Yeah, don't buy this for your kid.
No. I hear him talking about it, and she's like, yeah.
Yeah, shit that they say in these books, I'm like, oh my god. Jesus. So, but yeah, I'm kind of enjoying them so far. So I'd check them out if you're into that kind of thing. If you're into a Poirot or a Dresden, just a kind of noir PI thing. It's good. I like a good murder mystery. Yeah. And I've been reading a lot of them lately, murder mysteries, and I keep figuring them out far before they happen. I didn't with this last book, and I'm not really sure on the current one either. So
he's been ever since Knives Out. It's reignited the flair in him for that genre.
Yes, so. I love the genre of a murder mystery, and I like it when I can't figure it out. With Agatha Christie, I was kind of half and half. A lot of the time, I figured it out before Poirot did, or before Poirot announced that he did. But sometimes he would surprise me, right? But J.K. Rowling has always had a way of doing the rope-a-dope to make you think one thing, and then it's just like, oh shit, it's actually this over here that was hinted at slightly the entire time, but you never saw it coming. Now, if I had read the Harry Potter books for the first time as an adult, I'm not sure if I would have seen those twists coming or not. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But I am thoroughly enjoying the Cormoran Strike books, and the narrator's pretty good too.
Nice. My shout out is somewhat disappointing, because I had hoped to do a shout out to the new Cherry Vanilla Coke, because our local Walmart got some in. It's something that's been advertised all over my Facebook page. And so we got some, and I tried it, and it's the most mediocre thing that you can have.
Yeah, it's not the best of both worlds.
I can't get the taste of such extreme mediocrity out of my mouth. It is just, regular Coke's way better. Coke Zero is way better. Coke Zero Cherry is infinitely better. Vanilla Coke, though, is where it's really at. Just keep it Vanilla Coke. Okay? Don't overcomplicate it. You didn't get the balance right on this one, folks. I'm sorry. So instead, my shout-out is going to go towards kind of a dual shout-out. It's cocaine. Specifically, one side effect of cocaine. That's anosmia. Now, we talked about drugs earlier in the episode, so I assume you put two and two together on why I'm doing a shout-out towards cocaine. And you're just laughing over there, and you're trying not to show it. I know it's great. But one of the side effects of cocaine is anosmia, and what that means is that it destroys your sense of smell. Which,
I see.
Right. Mm-hmm. You would understand. Now, we mentioned way back at the very beginning of the episode that we have a new roommate. She likes to cook, and she also smokes. And this morning she decided to cook bacon. So when we come out here to record, all I'm smelling is bacon and cigarettes, and it makes me want to die. And I really wish I didn't have to smell anything right now.
I don't even smell it anymore.
I do. It's sticking around, man. You have just the most dulled senses on the planet, I swear.
I'm fine with that.
You don't hear half of what I do, you don't smell half of what I do, but for some reason you just
I don't want to smell half of what you do.
No. You just see the craziest shit on the internet. I don't know. His vision's better than mine, but I got him beating the other senses.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not too upset about it.
So, yeah, that's my shout out. My shout out is going towards the anosmia side effect that comes from heavy cocaine abuse.
All right, so we're going to pick up some cocaine then? Is that the plan now?
Why would I pick it up?
Okay. Why did we start talking about the cherry vanilla Coke? Because it was... Okay.
Because I wanted to say that I was depressed, and to say that I had a different shout-out, to make it seem like I was reasonable, to lead you up to the extremeness of my shout-out towards cocaine.
He was so depressed about how bad the cherry vanilla Coke was that he just started doing a fuck ton of cocaine and shoving cherries and vanilla up his nose.
Right, trying to get back to the original
It did
Coke
destroy
flavor.
his sense of smell.
Right.
So
I want cocaine in my Coca-Cola.
this is a shambles. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.